Hello guys, so today I'm going to discuss on PPF, production possibility frontier. So what do we understand by the word frontier? Frontier is a boundary or demarcation or the line or border between two countries and so forth. So just to keep our understanding up to this level, let's just think about a border between two countries which we call frontier. So in the like manner, in microeconomics, we have something called production possibility frontier. Beyond that frontier, we cannot produce anything else. So this limits, meaning the frontier depicts the or describes our limited resources. So let's discuss about this production possibility frontier today. So here's a diagram. On the y-axis, we have amount of food per week, and on the x-axis we have amount of clothing per week. So you can see the scale on the x-axis and y-axis, and this red line is production possibility frontier curve. And if we define academically, we can say production possibility frontier is nothing but the graph showing all possible combination of goods or services that can be produced within this boundary. So let's discuss about this in detail. You see, for instance, if I want 10 units of food per week, if I consume that, I can consume 3 units of clothing per week. Suppose I want to increase the consumption of my clothing. Suppose I'm a jazzy man who would love to dress well and keep on changing the dress. So suppose I increase 1 unit of consumption of my clothes per week, then I have to forego 0.5, or you can say half of the amount of food per week, because I have to trade off. In life we face trade off. Nobody can have everything we want. So that's why we have to trade off. And when we trade off, there's something called opportunity cost. First, let us understand something about trade-off. Trade-off means you are giving up something to gain something. For instance, to gain 1 unit of clothing, you are giving up this amount of food per week. So that means you are giving up this area. So this is called opportunity cost, which is equal to here 0.5 unit of food. So suppose you want to increase the consumption of your food from 2 units to 4 units, then you have to give up from 13 to 12 units of clothing. So this is also a trade-off. And what is traded off? The cost of trading off is nothing but opportunity cost. So opportunity cost, you could see, as we want to have one good, more of one good, then it keeps on increasing. So now the opportunity cost, suppose you want to have 5 units of clothing, for that you have to forego 2 units of food. 2 units of food. So from 0.5 to 2, so opportunity cost keeps on increasing. So from this we can make 5 deductions. So let's go one by one from this diagram. So number 1, you can see resources are scarce. Precisely because resources are scarce, we cannot have anything we wish. Our wants are unlimited, but resources are scarce. Therefore, we have to trade off. And when we trade off, there's a cost, and that cost is called opportunity cost. So that's why resources are scarce. It leads to trade off and opportunity cost. And secondly, scarcity involves opportunity cost, which I've already explained that. Now the third thing from this diagram which we can learn is opportunity costs are increasing. We could see from 0.5 to 2 how it increased when we want to have more of one good as compared to in respect to others. So that's why opportunity costs are increasing. Then fourth one, incentives matter. Now we won't forego clothing or either food unless there's an incentive for us to do so. If we want more food, if we are posed with survival threat, so we might sacrifice food and clothing, and we may not go for the clothing. So incentive matters that way. Then the final one, inefficiency involves real cost. For instance, this point E is within the production possibility frontier, means we are inefficient in our production because resources are not employed fully. And on the contrary, point G is not attainable, it's unattainable. We cannot attain because it crosses the production possibility frontier. There's no resources for us to produce beyond this frontier. That's why G, it's not possible, but E, it's inefficient allocation of resources. Although we have resources, we are not able to employ it fully to our use. That's why inefficiency involves real cost. Why inefficiency involves real cost? Because although we have our resources, we are not producing it to the optimum. Therefore, social welfare will be minimized. So there won't be a huge supply based on the demand. So therefore, based on the law of supply and demand, we know that with scarcity of supply, the cost will escalate. Therefore, it will lead to inflation and the social welfare will be minimized. Sorry. In the like manner, whether markets work well is important. Now, if market work well, everybody will be better off. If market does not works well, maybe there will be a inefficient allocation of resources, which again will yield inflation, scarcity of supply, thereby the welfare of the society will be jeopardized or minimized. So this is our first session. We shall discuss further, and I've shown the animation in my YouTube video, so if you are interested, you can watch this in YouTube as well. Thanks.